you need to have a mentor. You need to have someone that will teach you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Chat with Mick. And today we have Divine Corcio, who's the owner of Prep for You Services and Digital Consulting Services. And we're going to find out more about what she does with her company and how it all started. Hi, Divine. How are you doing?
Hi, Mick. How are you?
I'm good. Tell me the chapter of your life that led you to this moment right now.
Uh, Actually, it's really a long story, because it started when, the pandemic hit. So, because I am a full-time mom and I don't have anything, to do in the house. So I look something, like a job that I can do from home. And I started to learn about virtual assistant. So, just telling you something that I am not really, born here in the US. So I'm born in the Philippines. And, when I get here, uh, I'm pregnant. I'm already, and my husband is the only one who's helping me or, earning for us. And, I have family back home in the Philippines that I need to support. So that's why I look something what I can do from home, and that is virtual assistant. So that's the time I started to learn how to work from home by selling online. So that's really the start how I become like an online seller and a virtual assistant here in the US.
Take us back to when you were younger. Were you always business minded when you were a child?
I think yes. So just to give you a little background, in the Philippines, I am a midwife. So I help mothers, to deliver the baby. And it's really, I don't have the background in administrative, you know, things, work. And but I have that entrepreneurial uh mindset and heart, because I remember when I was in college, because we are not, we are like poor in the Philippines, and my parents is the one who's sending me in the school, and for me to help myself in in finishing the college, I remember I need, my mom will gonna give me like 500 pesos, and that 500 I will just keep my 1 week budget, like 200. And then that 300 I will buy something, like because I live in Cavite, so there is like a place in San Pedro that I can buy, like, Filipino delicacies that I can resell, sell in my board mates, in my teachers in the school. So I think that time, even I'm in midwifery, I'm taking midwifery that year. I'm already selling. So it's really, the entrepreneurial is already in me.
What did you learn from that experience of going to town, buying delicacies, and selling them to your classmates and teachers? What lessons did you learn?
Actually, that time, it's really tough. It's really tough living in the Philippines, and like what I said, I need to support, myself to finish my college. So, for me, what I learned is, you know, I think as a Filipino, it's always in our, life to be a hardworking person, and also the perseverance, and also how to be, those little sacrifices, you know, uh, and always putting our family first is what I learned, because I am the eldest in the family. So that's why we know in the Philippines that if you are, the eldest, You're the one who gonna be the next breadwinner. You're the one who is responsible to help your parents and your siblings. And for me, I did a lot of sacrifices that time. Like what I said, I also experienced how to, you know, because I also I'm studying in Manila. So I need to stay there for while I'm studying. So in the morning, uh, I don't wake up early. I wake up like 11 a.m. so I can skip the breakfast, and then so now my what I'm going to spend only is for my lunch. And that lunch, my dish, I will divide that into two because that will be my food for the lunch and for the dinner. So a lot of sacrifices, and also I I also, you know, used to join also with a band. So I have a band in the Philippines that we sing and do events in fiestas. So that time also it helps me. I'm earning money, supporting myself in college, and my mom didn't know that. So I need to do that because I need to finish my college, and help my family. So sometimes my mom is asking me, are you going to go home this week? No, I have. Oh, do you still have the money? Yes, I already have. How? So I don't tell her, but that is how I'm doing it, just to support myself in college.
When did you move to the States? How did you get here?
So that is also a good story. Uh, because of my husband. So my husband is Hispanic, and we met in online dating. So my husband is a pastor here in the U.S. And I think there's a time in his life that he wants to have a wife. So that's the time. Actually, that's a long story how my husband found me, and me also in the Philippines. That time I already have my lying in clinic. So I'm also entrepreneur there already. Even I'm doing my job as a midwife, but I have my own lying in clinic. So in our small town in Cavite, so I'm so focused and I'm so passionate about my work, so that time um my husband met me online, and he needs to he needs to come in the Philippines, to fly in the Philippines 7 times, to court me, because my parents are so old school, and he went there 7 times, asked for my hand, and that's it. So I came here, and thank God, my family, his family here, that now my family uh, is very, very generous, very helpful and loving, so that's how I get here in the US.
Was that like a passport for you to have a new life?
Yes. So actually, I never dreamed to come here in the US, because me, like what I said, actually I never in my life to you know to you know to come here. That's why nga parang hindi pa ako ganun kagaling mag-English, because you know uh I never prepared for this life, so but God has a sense of humor, that how his plan is different to our plans. And yeah, after I met him, I give up everything that I have in the Philippines. So even my profession, my lying in clinic, I sold it. I just I leave everything behind and come here.
This point, are you still in midwifery, or did you completely change everything? Like you uprooted what you had in the Philippines and now you're here in the States, you have a new life. Are you doing something else now?
Yes, so I really didn't, see myself anymore in doing the in medical field, and like what I said, because I am the eldest in the family, so my parents expect me to help them. So that's why when I get here and I get pregnant, so I'm just in the house. So of course, we agreed, my husband and me are, we agreed that I will be a mom, a stay at home mom. But for me, of course, I want to help my family in the Philippines, and I want to help also my husband. So I look for something that what can I do online, and that is being a virtual assistant and selling online. So everything changed. Like what I said, I don't even have any background in in um, administrative things, but for me, when I want something, I will do and learn everything. So and then I will apply it.
What skills did you have to learn?
So, as a virtual assistant, uh, you just need to learn how to read the data, or what are the products that are in demand. So it's kind of looking up, doing a product research where you can buy it somewhere in a low price, and then someone, or like me, I can resell it for a higher price. So that's really the only skills that you're gonna learn is the sourcing skill, where you will find products that you can resell online.
What challenges did you have other than learning new skills?
So a lot of challenges, because like what I said, I'm a mom, and that time I need to do my work while my kids are sleeping, and like what I said, uh, when the pandemic hit, that's the time that the online selling is booming and the virtual assistant. So because of that, I saw the gap or the problem here in the US, that people here are looking, it's so hard for them to look a product because they are working. So they need someone to do it for them. And the solution that I found is, as a virtual assistant, is to hire someone, and that is from the Philippines. So that's why when the time of pandemic, right now, in the Philippines, it's morning and we are night. So the struggle there is, I'm awake while my kids are sleeping, and I'm teaching the Filipinos how to be a virtual assistant. So that's the struggle that I experienced. And also, like what I said, I'm just staying at home, so I don't drive. So that's also what my struggle is. There are things that more cheaper to find products when you are a store than an online. So those kind of things that I my struggle, and then a little bit, the language, because English is not my native language, so I need to start learning more English. So that mostly that is the struggle that I face in my business.
Going back to your life in the Philippines, did you leave behind your family when you came over here?
Uh, you know, right now, not really, because of the technology. It's more easier for us now to reach out, to talk, and to see our family. So but right now I don't have any family here, in the blood, So it's really my husband. But 2 years ago, I already, started the the papers of my family. So, my mom, she already went here twice, So, and then last summer, me and my kids went, to visit the Philippines.
What changes did you see when you visited the Philippines?
Actually, it's really big. Yeah. Yeah, because the last time I went there is before the pandemic. And then this summer, I went over there. You know, Philippines is really, growing. They have a lot of new, like, we called it freeway here in the Philippines expressway. And actually, um, it's not a lot of traffic anymore. So that is the one changes. And then Filipinos now are more entrepreneurial, have an entrepreneurial mindset already. So a lot of them also are like a content creator, and also they are patronizing also now the American brands, a lot of international brands. So actually, I'm so amazed how a lot of people now can, in the Philippines can what do you call this? Uh, they can afford now to have a car. So I said, oh my goodness, So actually, it's really a lot of changes, in the Philippines. So, but still, people are so humble, so happy there. They're always smiling, and thank God my kids, experienced that again, when we went over there.
What changes did you see in the Philippines that you could apply to what you're doing here in the States?
Um, I think the changes. I think the changes that I can apply and from the Philippines right now. Actually, in the Philippines, they are more open now when it comes to finances, because before, you know, the Filipino culture, like, you know, it's like the parents believe that their what they call this, their kids are their investment. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I will invest to my kids to be a doctor. I will sell the Carabao, for my daughter so she can finish the nurse, But now they are more open now when it comes to finances. So about savings, about investing. And here, you know, I can see here in the US, we are more like open-minded in this kind of issues. So for me, as an entrepreneur also, uh, I need to apply that to myself and to my family, because business is always up and down, and we are getting older. So of course, the next stage of your life is retirement. So although I'm still young, but I need that, years for me to prepare my retirement and for my kids.
You were talking about hiring virtual assistants earlier. What criteria do you use to hire virtual assistants? What qualities do you look for a potential candidate for a virtual assistant?
Yes, so that is a good question, because right now, because e-commerce is really growing, faster, and a lot of people here, in the US, they have job and they cannot do it, themselves if they're going to enter in e-commerce, and that's why, they need virtual assistant. So they need virtual assistant to help them in their business. So the criteria that you need to find, for a virtual assistant is, of course, they need to know about e-commerce. They are knowledgeable how to find products. And also, you need also to make sure that your virtual assistant is trustworthy. Because there are personal information, you know, uh, our personal information that they need to know. So, for example, the login of your store account, the login also of the websites, that they need to buy products or look for the products. And also, sometimes we gave also our credit card, to so they are the one who going to purchase that online, and then buy it and ship it to their house or in the prep center. So and also as another criteria that you need to look for a virtual assistant is uh, she's open, in uh, and resourceful, when it comes to this business, because uh, e-commerce, especially right now, technology is really, moving, changing faster, especially with the AI, so that's why you need to be more resourceful, you need to be creative also, and, knowledgeable, and you know how to adapt also of what's going on online.
How do you ensure honesty and credibility and or integrity with the people that you're hiring?
So that's a good question. So of course, not immediately you will give everything, your information. So usually it will takes like a month. You will give the virtual assistant first the tasks. Of course, first is the login details of the store. You know, so when you feel like you're there's already like a connection, a relationship between you and the virtual assistant, uh, you will see or you will feel it if that is the right time for you to to uh, trust the VA, what you want to give to them, and for me, I believe like Filipino virtual assistants are more easier, and uh, easy to work with, and also uh, trustworthy people. I believe Filipinos are like that. And I heard that if, is even in the medical field, we have that, heart, that, and because Filipinos, they always uh, doing their best, when it comes to their work. We always put our heart there, because we know that this is our bread and butter, and this is the only, like uh, the the salary or the work that it can help my family, So that's why a lot of people here in the US that they are really looking for Filipino virtual assistant.
Do you think it's because there's a lot of things that are at stake? Filipinos take on a job, they're thinking about their reputation, their families back
Yes.
home, like all of their relatives or the people that they have to help out. So,
Yes.
do you think that that's the reason? Maybe that's why Filipinos are more caring or they have more of a conscientious mind in whatever that they're doing?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
You have other businesses, right? So you have the virtual assistant, and then you also have the fulfillment center.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the fulfillment center? What do you do over there in that job of yours?
Yeah, actually, it's really connected, to the business that about the virtual assistant, because I saw also the problem there. So that's why I put I created, that business, because as a virtual assistant, um, they, for example, my boss, he is not available also in the house, or sometimes in their house, they will receive all these inventories that they need to, pack and ship also. So they don't want it. So now I saw the problem that, oh, so you don't want it, I can do it. So that's why I told to my clients, if you don't want to do the pack and ship, I will do it. So, and it's so easy because you just print the label and put it in the box and then ship it out. So I think that's how I I see a business. It's like I always look for a problem and then make a solution for that.
What problems do you see now? I mean, what are you currently working on?
Yeah, so right now, to be honest, the e-commerce right now is really changing a lot, you know. So, because of the tariff also. So I have a lot of clients outside the country. Uh, they stop selling here, So because of, the tax, also because what they are selling is from, for example, from UK, they will ship it here in the US, and Amazon will sell that to the US. So, and I lost a lot of clients. So what happened is, as a entrepreneur, I have employees also, because we have employees in the Philippines, the virtual assistants. I need to move faster. What I can do, right now in this e-commerce, and I found now that people now are selling online. So so now I do it again. I do it in myself. So I tried even selling online, I never saw myself doing that. But, because I want to save, my business, my family and my employees, I need to do it. So, and actually, everyone are selling online, live selling, even eBay now, Poshmark, Amazon also, they're all doing live selling, whatnot. And that's how the e-commerce now. So that's why, like what I said, as a virtual assistant or as a person, as an entrepreneur, you need to know how to adapt, of what's happening right now.
With all of the things that you're doing, do you think you've found your purpose in life?
Oh, yes. So, for me, I believe that God is using my business not for me to just to earn money to help my family, but also to help other people. Like what I said, I have employees in the Philippines, that I started that when the pandemic hit, and a lot of people in the Philippines, they don't have job, but because of that virtual assistant, I have those employees that already been with us for 5 years, and and I believe that is the, my purpose is the business. I have the skill, to start a business that will generate money and also to serve other people. For me, that is my purpose and always be my vision and my mission is, to be transparent always to my clients, and also helping, other people, even here in the Philippines or here in the US. So actually right now I have, I'm not doing the live selling anymore. so so I have sister in the church. So she have a daughter, and she's doing part-time in our business. So she's the one who doing the live selling, and uh, we have also some brother, in the church. Um, he's trying to, recover in addiction. So we help them also. He is one of, doing the pack and ship, packing of our orders. And for me, that has always been my prayer, that God will use our business, to help other people, you know, because, you know, because this is what I believe, if it's like, I'm like what do you call that? Pitcher, pitcher. You know, if your pitcher is full, you know, there's no more water that's gonna fit there. So you need to have, you need to, pour your water in different glasses, or
Yeah.
so the water can go again, and it will pour again in your pitcher. So that's why for me that is, always, a reminder to me that I need to pour my water to other, so God will bless me more, give me more blessing, and then the water will flow.
It's a very good lesson for all of us. If you were to tell someone who's asking for advice on what to do if they want to have their own business, what would you tell them?
That is so hard. Because there's a lot of coaches online that they are telling us that, follow your passion. Actually, this is not really my passion. My passion is, really helping people. So meaning that passion, helping people, you can use that in different, even in different ways. So before, I'm helping mothers delivering the babies. That time, I'm not only delivering the babies, we have that relationship always, and now, my passion is to teach, to teach other people, and that is in the virtual assistant, and helping now with the, with our churches, with our church members, that they don't have work. So that's how my passion. But I think right now, what I can say is, if you really want to, to do business, find the problem, and make a solution for that problem. So, and then, I believe like everything you can learn it, especially right now that you in YouTube, online you can find all the answers. It's not hard anymore to find the answers. So that's why you just need to, to be persistent, to look for it, and then study it, and then apply it. So I think, and then also for me, I believe that you need to have a mentor. You need to have someone that will teach you if you don't know how to do it. So I think that's what I can. And also like, and for me, it's not being a so spiritual, but for me, I believe like, in everything we do, there is someone that you can, ask guidance and wisdom. And for me, that is the Lord, and every step that we are doing is, I always ask, for, for the wisdom, if this is right, and this is for me, and God always give me an answer for that.
We learned a lot of things from you today. Everybody out there, just like what Divine was saying, if we have a passion, we ought to use it to serve other people. Thank you so much for being with us today. And to everybody, we'll see you in the next episode of Chat with Nick. Bye.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Tang and Java. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out.